Rich helped me put together a sales professional versus sales enterprise chart. He basically just took all of this um, from the licensing guide, because we do get questions about this. Not very often, because normally I say, like our target customer base, we're just saying like sales enterprise or customer service enterprise, because we generally at some point end up using all those advanced features anyways. Or they want, they want Canvas apps or custom pages or Power Pages or whatever. Like there's always some kind of component down the road where a customer wants that other stuff and wants the flexibility. We do, however, have customers where there is a licensing constraint. And a very good example that came up recently is that a customer has like 20 users, and all 20 of those users are in Business Central with a Business Central Essentials license. You can't go from Business Central Essentials and go to Business or Sales Enterprise as an attached license. It goes Essentials to Sales Professional or Customer Service Professional, and it goes the Business Central Premium, I think is what it's called, Premium to the enterprise level licenses. And that also includes field service now, which is kind of cool. That used to not be the case. So I don't think Nevin's in here, but I know I have let sales know like which customers would be impacted as far as ones that have users that are using both field service and in BC, because there might be like $120 cost savings per each of those users, because the attached license would be $20 instead of the full, I forget what field service can go up to, 120, 140 or something. So that's another thing that I wanted to do. But as far as this, so what the customer wanted to know was, hey, what am I missing out on? And now I could have just sent them the link to the licensing guide, but man, that would just like I'm in there a lot, but I don't wish that upon any of my worst enemies. So we can have a better kind of chart that we can kind of give to customers, and or we can just give to ourselves. And what I'd like to do is I don't know, I would like to just overall we get a little bit better as far as understanding the differences between the professional and enterprise level licenses, because I think that there could be some additional opportunity for us to get people into the system and then kind of grow from a pro to enterprise. Like I said, it doesn't happen all the time with our customer base or the projects that we're going after, but I want to do a little bit better job there. So I'll share this, a couple things. The biggest takeaway as far as some of the sales professional versus enterprise is the custom applications. We talked about this, right? Sales professional, they're not getting any inherited custom applications, even in the context of your CRM environment. Enterprise level licenses do, right? It doesn't matter how many custom apps you have as long as it's in the context of your CRM. The other one, Power Automate, you don't get inherited additional use rights there. And some of this stuff, contextual insights, this is a little bit more advanced. We don't have that many customers that would be really missing out on it. Sales Accelerator, this is a big one. Like we did a webinar over this, and I think there's some really cool stuff with Sales Accelerator. And Sales Enterprise licenses do get plenty of, it says limited, but Sales Accelerator uses like sequences in a consumption base. Like you get to auto generate a number of sequences per enterprise level license, that kind of stuff. So I think that this is pretty powerful. You obviously get unlimited with the premium. And then the other big thing is the conversation intelligence. So one thing of note that has changed, and I'll talk to it, but you used to only get like 3 hours of conversation intelligence per enterprise level license at the tenant level. So I'm going to pick on, so since Postma, Andrew, and Scott got their cameras shared, so let's say Postma, Andrew, and Scott all have a sales enterprise level license. So that would mean at the tenant that there are 9 conversation intelligence hours available to be used by anybody in the organization. Well, at enterprise up, right? Sales Pro doesn't get the conversation intelligence options. In the licensing guide right now, it says conversation intelligence is unlimited. The website article says it still has the old like, hey, you only get 3 hours per license, but in the licensing guide, which I deem to be the source of truth, right? I think that's how most of us operate. Licensing guide trumps all other sources of information. and it says unlimited being one of the changes to the sales enterprise level license. That could be a pretty big boon. I know that Rigo and I have done some quoting for some customers that were at sales enterprise level licenses that were expecting to record thousands of minutes a month. And the quote, I like, we gave them, it was tens of thousands of dollars a month is that what they would spend just on conversation intelligence, where now that might not be an issue. So that one's pretty interesting. Rigo, we should probably figure out which customer that was, by the way, and reach back out to them.
Will do.
And that is some of the stuff from the sales professional sales enterprise that I wanted to cover. As you can see here, most of it's the same. Sales enterprise, you do get some limited customer service rights, right, with knowledge management as well as with case creation. And then everything else kind of makes sense with what you would expect as you kind of look through this. I guess the other thing before I call on Scott is not listed here, but sales professional, you only get so many. I believe even sales professional, you only get so many custom tables, just like the team member, and it's a different application. I need to confirm that one. But I'm looking to kind of have a version of this spun up for customer service as well, so we can kind of do some comparisons with customers. Go ahead, Scott.
Yeah, I don't see managed environments here, and maybe it's just that it's too small and you're scrolling too fast and I missed it. But we did have a customer, of course, they're on support professional or team member actually for most of their users and professional for just a few. But they were asking about managed environments, and we're like, I don't think that's going to require you to have a new license, and we don't know. We'll have the salesperson ask, and I forgot to ask the salesperson to ask, and that. But I since Microsoft is pushing managed environments and their ALM pipeline and all of that, my understanding is that that's an enterprise license feature, but I am nowhere close to understanding Microsoft's licensing. So
You mean you're not cursed as much as I am as far as reading the licensing guide every
well,
month it gets updated?
when I need to go to sleep, I sometimes crack that sucker open, but otherwise, no.
Works better than Benadryl.
Doesn't BYU have a 2-year program for that?
So no, that's a good call out. I'll look into that one because I know the managed environments, it has been coming up in conversations, but I think just kind of understanding what that entails a little bit better would probably be good for us as well.
Yeah.
Things are changing. I mean, they're always changing, but in our space, in our realm, as far as what we're consulting on,